Okay, next up we're with Jan Thompson from Ericsson. Jan, tell us a little bit about the work that you do here at Ericsson.
Hi, I'm the global head of public safety here at Ericsson, and so we're all about developing systems and solutions and helping our customers in public safety to respond better, more effectively, to deal with all the operational challenges they have, which aren't just getting there fast and helping victims of crime, for example, but also doing that in an affordable way. So cost and the traditional business challenges that we all know so well are very relevant here too, as far as we see.
Now, it's an evolving market and new technology is at the forefront of the market, and there's some particularly new technology you guys are highlighting.
Well, I have to say, actually, when it comes to technology, there's one thing that everybody here knows is we don't know what's going to happen next. There's all this stuff that is just appearing, and probably in the space of this conversation, technology has evolved that is going to be used in a certain way that we just cannot know what's going to happen. So it's really important that we enable innovation, the user, the citizens, to innovate using smartphones and devices, and we'll talk about 5G and Internet of Things, and it's really important that we let that happen. So we do know that people are going to use drones to survey the scene of a fire, for example, so a fire officer can choose how to dispatch their resources with their safety in mind, just as much as the safety of the citizens that they're there to protect. And we do know as well that people tend to revert to type, so if there's a crisis, maybe if you're a younger generation person, you're less likely to pick up the phone and dial 999 or 112 or something. Maybe you're much more likely to use Twitter, and we have started to see that people use social media much more, so we know that social media is coming as well. And for example, Internet of Things, 5G, it means that perhaps a bin on a drive of an elderly person has a sensor in it, and if it doesn't move on a Wednesday, then maybe there's a reason for that, and we can go and speak to the elderly person and check they're okay, maybe call them, maybe send a drone to have a look at the premises or phone them up to see if there's something that could be prevented. So our customers are about prevention and protection. So if they can stop an incident from happening using modern technology, then we know that's going to good. So innovation is absolutely crucial, and we need to allow that organic innovation to happen. But of course, if you allow that to happen in that way, then the structure and the organisation that's required for public safety organisations and the IT and ICT that's required becomes suboptimal. So Ericsson's strength is in innovation for how you put all these different modules and solutions and databases and mobile communications technologies, etc., together in a way that solves the problems or addresses the challenges that our customers are looking to deal with. So our innovation in that framework of capability, coupled with the organic innovation, is essential, in my view, for moving forward to an era which is the next step which we're about to approach. After we've deployed all this technology, then this wave of information is going to come. So what do you do with that wave of information? And then again, you need to innovate. You need to say, what does what chief need to know in order to make the right decisions, in order to respond fast? It's all about innovation and the information that's coming.
And what sort of patterns have you recognised within the market, so the user behaviour specifically here? What patterns are emerging?
I think the user behaviour side of things is what I've already mentioned, is the fact that people will create a solution to a situation. If they're in crisis, then they will just do what is required, what is necessary to address that situation. Now, again, here's another challenge, a dichotomy, if I could be as fancy as to call it that. You have a situation, an emergency situation, perhaps you are in crisis and you just need help. How much information would you like to give me as a police officer or as a fire and rescue person? You'd probably give me anything that would help you. But if it was a routine day and you were just walking down the street, how much information would you be comfortable with me knowing about you? Probably you'd rather turn that down and limit that. And so people's behaviour around different situations is very important. The situation we are in will be influencing how we behave and what we want to do with the information. And as I say, we're seeing fantastic technologies here, and drones and mobile networks. How the information is going to use and how customers and citizens behave is going to just keep evolving and changing in front of our eyes.
Exciting times.
Fantastic times.
Yeah.
And this is a real pivotal point. You know, I've been in ICT for all of my career, which is quite a while, as you can probably tell by my grey hairs.
I'll give
But this is a time where what we do in this industry, these professionals, can change and help to change how police forces, fire and rescue, ambulance organisations, civil resilience organisations, how they do it. In order they can respond faster, and the ways that they work can change because of the technologies that we have. Now, in the past, we've aspired to that, but it's really happening right now. The mobile technologies that we're seeing coming really can make a difference. So we're hitting this innovative, iterative cycle where, oh, I can do that with technology, can I? Oh, well, in that case, I would like to work this way. Oh, to work that way, well, I'll need this technology, and of course 5G and Internet of Things, that all comes into play.
You mentioned there the sort of police force as one example. What other sort of collaborations or examples of collaborations can you give us that Ericsson are heavily involved in?
Well, it's a very interesting question because collaboration is being driven so hard by a number of factors. For example, in the UK, where I'm from, we had a deep recession, which meant that we just had to do things differently. And so that was a strong driver for collaboration between police forces, and between police and fire and rescue and ambulance forces as well. And so there's the economic driver, there's just the common sense driver as well. There's all this information that's here and will come as well. Sharing that means you can respond better. And we're seeing in Tasmania, for example, they had the bushfires there, and as a result of the challenges that they had, the government said we have to connect up our police, fire and ambulance organisations, and we installed a private mobile radio gateway to enable them to talk to each other, which is great. You know, again, you know, if another bushfire comes, as it will in Australia, you know what it's like, then they'll be better equipped to deal with that, and they'll have information to share between the agencies. And again, that's great if you're in a situation where you're at risk because of the fire. But then again, chief officers are going to have this terrible position where they have to know everything in certain circumstances, but have to not invade people's privacy in other circumstances. So there's a real challenge for our customers, our chief officers, in the way that they deal with information and what they should and what they shouldn't know. And it's going to be really difficult to work out what to do. And again, the innovation will then shift towards the information hierarchy, the structure, the decision making. What are the three key pieces of information you must have in order to make the best operational decision you can? And so that's where we continue to work with our customers.
It sounds like you've got your fingers well and truly on the pulse here at Ericsson.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the couple of days.
Thank you.